Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another edition of Paradigms and Educational Comedy. Just thought I would let you guys know that for the first time ever in all the long years we've been up here, I've been doing this stuff since 2011. For the first time ever, we got our first hate speech strike on a video about taking the red wine challenge. And oh, gee, what did they find so terribly offensive? What was so terrible about red wine? Well, not so much about the red wine, but there was a part in that video to where I basically well, the opinions about intersectionality and what controls the mainstream and society right now, all this outrage culture stuff. Basically, I identified the bullies as the bullies, that they are these social justice warrior bully types that seem to run everything and run all the platforms. And that was more than enough to do it. And there are tons of videos already on my channel that go into these sorts of subjects, and so therefore there is more than enough already existing on my YouTube channel that they could more than easily take me down, more than easily just start rolling out the strikes on each of those videos, and then this channel will go bye-bye. There's already a controversy about 8chan, to where they're saying that censorship is the cure for everything, and that because of freedom of speech, that freedom of speech is causing shootings and violence and all this other stuff, and that hosting providers and domain providers that provide for regular websites, that any websites that have offensive opinion should be taken down, and that there's no reason for offensive humor to exist, or any sort of racial humor or whatever. It's like, oh really? What about Monty Python? You know what I mean? All the classic comedy that has been able to happen since World War II, because guess what? We fought the Nazis so that we could make fun of them, so that we could have our humor. And what happens when you censor and repress? I mean, let's look at some of the extremist groups on both the left, right, and everywhere else that do exist. The ones that the ones that want the violence, the ones that are violent. If you don't have free speech, then these groups, these people are not able to be monitored, and you're not able to challenge their views. You're not able to prevent people from getting indoctrinated into extremist ideologies by actively challenging that ideology, and by saying, hey, this is how this ideology is wrong. If you don't have the ability to dissent, and you don't have this civil discourse, then the more radical, violent types, as it were, they end up going underground, to where they can't be monitored, and their views can't be criticized and opposed. And all this does is it breeds more of the very thing that the people who are in favor of censorship are claiming that they want to prevent. I would dare say that no, the people who say they're in favor of censorship and that they think it'll prevent violence and all this and that, they don't want to prevent violence. This is my opinion. You can take it for whatever it's worth. They don't want to prevent violence. That's virtue signaling. In fact, they want more violence. They want more extremism, because that then acts as setting precedents, that acts as excuses for them to roll out, more totalitarian legislation, and for more tomfuckery within corporations, and to allow these governmental and corporate institutions to have greater and greater lockdown on our lives, to keep the population living in fear so that they're easier to control. Fear of, uh-oh, I better keep my head down. I better not say anything about anything. I better say yes to massa. No, massa. Don't beat me again, massa. Because if I don't do that, then the iron fist of political correctness and the corporate establishment is going to come down upon me, and I'm going to have all these consequences and, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is where they want it to go, despite all their fake virtue signaling about, oh, equality and diversity, and let's all get along, and let's keep people safe. And they do not want that. As a matter of fact, the more violence and extremism there is, these corporations make tons of money off of all of the clickbait and off of all the hit pieces and things like that. So the more shootings that happen, the more violence there is, the more people are fighting. This makes them more and more money. So they indeed absolutely want this. So yeah, that's my take on it. And not only is that my take, that's history's take. Look at anything historically. What does censorship do? It only creates a society of more violence, more fear, and more of all of the things that the pro-censorship people claim that they're against and that they don't want. So yes, if you want to keep seeing content from my channel, because obviously sooner rather than later, YouTube is going to be giving me the boot. That seems inevitable now. Make sure that you follow me on BitChute. I have a BitChute account. You can go to bitchute.com/PSEC documentary. I also have a channel on Library, that's spelled LBRY. So you can go to beta.library, LBRY.com/ then the @ and PSEC documentary. You can also check me out on DeviantArt. That's paradigm-shifting.deviantart.com. And if you look in my journals section, and every time there's a PSEC episode, I definitely I put it in a journal, and in that journal entry, I have the links for all the other platforms, that I have things syndicated to, and all the other social media that I'm on. I'm on Minds, I'm on Gab, I'm on BitChute, I'm on Library, I'm on all these different places. So if you do actually like the content that is on my channel, and you want to continue to receive more of that content, then I would strongly advise that you subscribe to me on these other alternative platforms that I'm on, because one day you're going to wake up in the morning and wonder whatever happened to Paradigm Shift and Educational Comedy on YouTube, because I'm not going to be here anymore. They will have given me the boot. And believe me, there with the video uploads that I have already, there is more than enough there for them to punt me. More than enough. My views are very controversial, at least from the perspective of dumbed down mainstream idiots. Very controversial, and anything controversial, anything even the slightest bit mildly offensive, well, that's hate speech, and that's the alt-right, and da-da-da, and oop, guideline strike. So, yep. Apparently, I've started catching the attention of the powers that be a little bit with my stuff. So I'm sure they're going to be looking through more of my videos, looking for any excuse to take me down. And trust me, they'll find it. There's plenty there for them to find, plenty there for them to look at that and go, oh, well, that's hate speech. That's no, goodbye, strike. So yeah, make sure you follow me on, alternative social media. Make sure you follow me on Minds, on Gab, on BitChute, on Library. I'll be expanding to to more places as they become available, as the Streisand effect continues to to ramp up, and more of these things become available. So this is just a warning to you guys. If you really like the content content that I have and you like being able to see it, sub me on these other platforms, because one day I'm just not going to be here anymore because they will remove me. That is inevitable. That is going to happen. I can't tell you exactly when. It could be tomorrow. It could be in a couple of weeks. Could be in a couple of months. Might even be a year from now if I'm really super lucky. But, just know it will happen. This is the way these things are going. So, yep. Follow me on those alternative platforms. Otherwise, one day my content's just not going to be here anymore, because that is the inevitable outcome. So, have a good day. Catch y'all later, and keep being politically incorrect and keep offending the shit out of the establishment, because, well, they deserve to be offended. Later.